Hi everyone, my name's Jake Brodsky. I'm a resident artist here at Pottery Northwest. I curated a show in our gallery this month focusing on soda firing, but since we are closing our studio up for the next 6 weeks, no one is going to be able to see it, and I thought I would give a little walkthrough of all the work and talk a little bit about this show and what it means for me. So I've been at Pottery Northwest for a little over a year now, focusing on soda firing, and I have really wanted to introduce our community to different types of work that's being made with the soda firing process. I think people, when they're getting used to soda firing, are expecting certain results, but there's a lot of different type of work that people are making through soda firing. So I wanted to showcase work with high temperature and mid-range and low temperature and porcelain and stoneware and earthenware and slips and glazes and different making techniques and building. And so I tried to put together this show based on that idea. So there's 9 artists here in the gallery, and sort of representing the range of work that I just described. We have people from the East Coast and the West Coast, people who wheel throw and hand build, and it's a fun display. So I'm gonna walk you through it a little bit. This work is made by a woman named Katie Dryber, lives in Montana. Soda fires with porcelain and glazes, and then goes back and uses China paints to paint on drawings after the soda firing and refires them. This work is by a woman named Susan Fagan. She hand builds with slabs and does a lot of slip transfers using screen printing techniques, layering transfers on top of each other, and then sort of collaging them together. This work is by a guy named Kenyon Hansen. High fires porcelain with glazes in a soda kiln. Uses a lot of different glazes, patterns, does some Mishima inlaying. This work here is by a guy named Michael Klein, who high fires stoneware with slips and glazes, uses a lot of wax patterning, some immaculate brushwork to layer patterns of slip and bare clay on top of each other. This work here is by a guy named Robin DuPont, who lives just outside of Nelson in British Columbia. He soda and wood fires. These are all porcelaneous stonewares or porcelains with sand wedged into them. Uses some glazes to get lush surfaces. This work is by a guy named Bill Wilkie, lives in Montana, uses slips and glazes at Cone 10, creates gridded patterns on his work. This work is by a woman named Gertrude Graham Smith, Gay Smith, who soda fires porcelain with glazes, uses different ways to create texture and patterns, layering glazes. She single fires a lot of her work, creates some large, very detailed wheel thrown pieces. This work is by a woman named Teresa Peach. She fires earthenware in a soda kiln with slip transfers, so does a lot of printing, layering slips onto newspaper or newsprint, and then transferring it onto the clay. And this work is made by a guy named Tom Yazchek, who also uses earthenware, soda fires to about cone 2 or 3 with slips, and uses underglazes to create these pops of color on his work. on top of the slip. And that's the show. Thanks for watching. I hope you're all staying healthy and safe. And if you have any questions about this work, feel free to contact me or Pottery Northwest. Have a good one. Bye.